Hi everybody, this is Stephanie from Healthy Living Dallas. Today I'm going to show you how to upload and utilize the information from your KAM device. The KAM is the Kinetic Activity Monitor that we give you to track your activity. The first thing you're going to want to check down here in your toolbar is you want to see if you have the KAM driver installed. If you don't have this little icon picture of the KAM drive right here, then go to and reference our video for how to install the KAM driver before you do this. But all you need to do to upload your KAM device is you need to go ahead and plug in the USB cord that came with your KAM device. It's pretty straightforward. From there, what you can do is you can go in here and you can double click on this KAM device. Now you can see here it's looking for the driver right now, so it could take a minute. Okay, great. So then you'll see this screen pop up after it's installed your driver the first time you plug it in. And it's going to tell you how long it's been since the last time that you input data. This will take just a minute for it to transfer this data into the computer. Great, so now that the data is into the computer, it's automatically going to pop up that landing page of myflttools.com. When you go here, you want to put in your username and password. And then it's going to redirect you to your page. So here's what it'll look like when you first get on the screen. It'll tell you an overall summary of what you've been doing. Now these diet prescriptions here, those aren't something we use very often, neither are the product lists here. If you're wanting to know more about your recommended nutrition intake or recommended nutrition supplements, definitely refer to the patient technology and the patient portal instead. But what you're going to click on up here on the top right to see your KAM data is the word KAM. And here what you're going to see is you're going to see it defaults over here in time frame to current month. So you can switch to last 30 days if you wanted a better look there. You can tell that I left my KAM at home when I travel over the holidays. You can also look year to date, previous month, previous year, if you're looking for some more long-term data. So what I want to show you is let's look at current month here. If you want to get really specific in your time frame, you can also go to custom down here and you can take out today. Because what that's going to do is today I've been wearing my KAM and it's a partial day. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, so I don't have very many KAM points yet, and that'll throw off my averages some. So basically what you want to look at is you want to look at several things. Notice up here in this red line, this is your target KAM points line. So right now, my target KAM point is 30. Let's pretend that it had been 20. And you can change this at any time. You can see if my KAM goal had been 20, I would have hit it many more days than if it had just been 30. So if we look down here, 8 days I've been above the target. My highest day was 30 points, and my lowest day was 8 points. When you're looking at averages, you always look at per day worn. I'm highlighting this text so you can see it here. Average KAM points per day worn, because if you see there's a couple days in here I didn't do it. So if you just look at the average KAM points per day, it's going to look significantly different. And then you can see your total KAM points in that time period. From here, you can get much more specific. So let's look at this day here where I got 30 KAM points. If you left click on this bar, it'll pop up a more detailed window. So we can see here that I didn't go to bed until after midnight on the 30th. Makes sense. It was the holidays. And then you can see when I was asleep, I got no activity. I woke up sometime in the 9 o'clock hour. You can see I was pretty active in the morning, and then I went to very sedentary in the evening. So we can really use these days to look at trends and patterns and figure out maybe in the evening we need to make sure a 15 or 20-minute exercise burst goes in there. And you can always click on a bar for more information. And now if you want, you can look over here at zone minutes. Now the KAM is great because it measures intensity of exercise, not just the amount of exercise, which is one of the reasons we prefer it over a pedometer. 1,000 steps running is significantly more calories burned, energy expenditure, and cardiovascular benefit than 1,000 steps walking on a day-to-day pace, unless you're power walking or something like that. But even on the zone minutes, you can click on any category or on any bar, and it'll pop up a more detailed information. So you can see between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. here, see that blue? It means I was in the sports zone, so I was doing something that really elevated my heart rate. And that's a target we'll set a lot of times as well. So this orange here is the life zone minutes. That's you're alive. You stood up, you sat down, you moved, you turned, you walked to one room to another, that kind of activity. Health zone minutes is going to be, okay, you're power walking, you're climbing stairs, you're doing something that requires more exertion in your day-to-day life. And that sports zone minute that you can see over here, that sports zone minute is you're really pushing yourself. You're either jogging, you're doing high intensity aerobics, you're doing something that's really making your body work. It's a great place to get into that sports zone. And you can see down here the average as well. Again, we're not looking at average per day, we're looking at average per day worn. So stick to this middle column here. And then you're looking at the highest over the time frame that you've looked. BMI is a tool you can use. It's not one that we use at the office. So you notice I've never updated mine. But you could go in here and update your weight over time and you'd be able to see it track and trend. Calories here, this is how many calories you've actually burned because it measures intensity as well as amount of activity, and they know your basal metabolic rate from something that we put in on the clinic end, that's your resting metabolism. It can very, very accurately measure for an activity tracker. So if you're looking in here, you can see down here, highest calories burned in one day was 390. Average burned per day worn. Again, we're not even going to look at this per day, just the per day worn. And that'll really give us, as a clinical staff, a better idea of how to adjust your food protocol based on your exercise. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Let's look at the previous year. If you look, the previous year, I burned approximately 100 calories more last year than I have so far in 2016. And so my food needs to change because I'm not exercising as much as I was last year, that I need to make sure that my food is adjusted down so that I can prevent weight gain. And if we look up here under KAM points, you can see my average KAM points per day worn was 25, and I often got up to around 50 or 60. So there's definitely a difference in how I should be eating this year compared to last year. And this can really give you the motivation to start picking it up and moving on. You can also look up here under goals. Now these goals are really fun. What you can do is you can choose, these are my active goals right now, but you can choose any goal that you want. So if I want to increase my KAM points, I can click on that. It looks like you can only have 3 active goals at one time. So what I can do is I can go ahead and I can take these goals out of here. Oops. So I can either start a new goal, I can view that goal, or I can view my actives. So now I have another spot in here, and I'll view the active again. So now I've got 3 new goals I can set. So I can either choose to increase KAM points. So I can try for 20 points per day for 20 days in a row. I can try for 40 points per day for 20 days in a row. or 28 points per day for 90 days in a row. You can choose. If you want to lose weight, you can tell it your starting pound and start your goal as well. And so you can really work on that. If I want to improve my heart health, you can look in here and you can say get 30 minutes of heart healthy activity, which is that health zone or sports zone, 20 out of 30 days this month. Or 45 minutes, 20 out of 30 days. Or work my way up to 150 minutes per week over the next 6 weeks. So it really gives you a little bit of information. And then if I want to increase my endurance, it'll really help me get there. So 30 minutes a day in the sports zone, which is a challenge. That's running, intense biking, things like that. And so you can really work on this. You'll notice here they said they don't have enough specific data on my KAM to start here. So it really, you can go in here and you can set as many goals as you want. In activity log up here, if you do an activity, let's say swimming or biking or something that the KAM doesn't necessarily track very well, maybe lifting weights, you can click on any day in here. I can say I did 30 minutes of activity, and when you're choosing an intensity level, you really need to choose using this criteria. For some people, jogging for 30 minutes may be moderate intensity, but for some people, it's vigorous intensity. So really choose based on here. If I can't talk at all while I'm jogging without getting side cramps, if I can't carry on a conversation, for me, that's going to be vigorous. But if I can jog and I can carry on a conversation easily, and yes, I'm sweating, and doesn't count that you're in Texas. That's why it says unless it's a hot and humid day here. If my exercise is making me sweat, not the weather, but I can still carry on a conversation, that's going to be moderate. So you can add in activity on your calendar as well. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any other questions about your KAM or how to use it, feel free to give us a call here at the office, 214-736-7405.